This is Mount Olympus, home of the Greek gods. Yes, that one. What would be peak 13 of 50 on my peak project across Europe. Normally a 2-day hike, I would be doing it in one, but I would be faced with the hardest decision while hiking alone of whether I should scramble the most complicated part of the climb in these conditions or turn back without summiting. Superstitious, unlucky peak 13 was already becoming a logistical pain in my hiking pants because my accommodation just cancelled on me.
Just found out my booking was cancelled.
No other bookings available online. My only option was to get off the bus and go door to door to the hotels. The second hotel I walked into, and they had room for 2 nights. I am so lucky because I was told that everything is sold out, and that was the reason that my thing was cancelled, but oh my gosh. I was indeed super lucky at this moment. I had a view of the mountain I would attempt the next day if the weather cooperated. This is also the perfect room because it had a fridge for my hiking sandwich and coffee making machine for the 4 a.m. start. Thanks, Hotel Aphrodite. You absolutely saved me. No matter how much research you do for these kinds of adventures, there's always stuff that has to be left to once you're finally there. I needed food, a taxi to the base, and a helmet for the scramble. This is my first real Greek meal, and I've just had my first few bites of the green salad, and it's probably one of the most delicious basic salads I've ever had. I got a smoked mackerel, and I think I ordered way too much food. There's so many potatoes, and it's really affordable. All of this is going to be about 20 euros, and it's quality food. I need to start loading up for Mount Olympus. I could not finish it, so it looks like my sandwich for the hike tomorrow is going to be smoked mackerel, potato, and tomatoes. Even if you don't like climbing mountains, come here just for this. Food accomplished. Next was taxi and helmet. Can you believe it, my friends? This is the first peak on this entire journey where I'm actually at the base well before the peak starts. Planning? Getting better. Either that or my luck is getting a little bit better. I actually had time to pack the night before. I went to this shop, 55 Peaks, and I'm so glad I did. Monica, absolute legend. I need a Monica for every single big peak left on this journey. I asked her, I said, so what's your honest opinion on the hike from Skala to Mytikas? And she says, how much running do you do? 10K. She's like, that's not much. Okay. I'm just gonna say, I'm like, well, I'm kind of on this mission to climb the highest peak in every European country. So then she tells me the different routes. Because I am going by myself, I think the best decision is to go with the path that I've been researching for the last while. I'm excited. A little bit nervous, but that's healthy. I'm ready. This is the pack I ended up with. Got a bit of space for jacket. Because right now it's really warm. Like it feels like it's maybe 25 out. Feeling 100% ready and checking the weather forecast one more time, I headed out to the taxi point. And we started the 30-minute drive to the trailhead, where I would quickly realize I had made a big mistake. I had completely forgotten a headlamp. All I had was the light on my phone. I think of all the crazy monsters that are lurking in the darkness or the bears that might suddenly start appearing in Greece. I have to convince myself that this is not a movie, just real life, and to never forget my headlamp again. The first trail marker. Hopefully once we get above the tree line, then we'll get the views. I would be taking the E4 trail as this was the most straightforward route. It would include the intense scramble everyone warns about, even though Monica recommended I do the other route with Via Ferrata. I didn't want to test my luck too much since I was alone and the weather wasn't ideal. We would soon find out. First stop. Why do my eyebrows look massive? It's really weird because I'm the only one on the trail, so there's probably lots of people staying at the refuge. I hope that's okay doing Mytikas, because if there's a lot of people climbing from Skala to Mytikas, then it could be dangerous. We will see. The thing with scrambles is if you get someone above you who kicks back a rock and it hits you, well, good night. You'll be Minotaur food.
Here comes the sun. Nearly at the mountain hut.
On the E4 trail, this is the refuge that most people will stay at on their first day of the climb. So they would hike what I had just done in day 1, or some people also hike all the way from Litochoro, where I'm staying. Then on day 2, they would continue to the peaks at the top, Mytikas, Skala, and Skala.
Made it to the mountain hut. Feeling really good. If I'm really honest, I'm in a bit of pain because I just got my period. It happens, but gonna have a little break here. I'm gonna switch out the duct tape on my blisters and we're gonna push for Skala. It's super duper cloudy. I was listening into a conversation. They asked what it's like right now at the very top, Mytikas, and they said it's very humid, so the rocks are slippery, and they said if the rocks are too slippery, then don't do it. Maybe it won't be that humid, but safety first. Since it's still before 9, I'm making good time, I think, because there's still a lot of people just having breakfast right now in the refuge, and these are probably going to be the people who are going to be going up as well, so I'd rather be ahead of them. Sorry, this is very steep. Look. Don't mind me, just the crazy Canadian in a t-shirt. Everybody else I've catched has got like long sleeves jackets.
The wind started to pick up, and with the clouds coming in, I was getting a stream of nervous thoughts, and doubt was coming in.
Yeah, our view is about to leave.
If something were to happen to me, would anyone even know? In moments like these, I turn to different thoughts, like the epic mythology behind Mount Olympus. The greatest tales tell that this mountain was created after an epic battle between the Olympian gods and the Titans. The winners, the Olympians, made this their home.
Literally 10 seconds. Look around me. That's where we just were. Now the decision is whether I should attempt Mytikas, which is over there, or if I just go back.
Self-doubt was hanging heavy. Could I do this?
So you can kind of see the outline there.
Would this all be exaggerated by everyone except for Monica? It was the hardest decision I had to make alone on a hike because there was uncertainty and fear of incapability and potentially worse, versus the idea that I could do this and that others were just being dramatic and that I did have the skills and the fitness. The facts were that visibility was poor. It's a 400-meter class 3 scramble on the Yosemite scale, which means climbing a steep hillside, moderate exposure, and hands are used in climbing. I was prepared with a helmet and gloves, and there were people coming back from having done it. I knew that if I didn't at least attempt, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
Let's do this. Probably up that way. If this doesn't make your heart jump into your butt, I don't know what will. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. I always make sure I have one marker ahead of me. Some parts you do need 4. Some parts it's quite okay. I can definitely imagine how this would be quite intimidating. I can do this. I feel like I'm surrounded by projectors. Look at these rocks. Like shadows. I can see the Greek flag. Oh my gosh. I second guess myself so much. But this is for anybody who underestimates themselves or has people around them who underestimate them. Do you know what? You can do a lot more than you think you can. Yes. Holy shit. Oh. Unreal. Come here, Grace. How stable is this? I can't reach. Let's go, baby. Peak 13. Actually, this is a nice place to eat my lunch. Oh, look at the sun. Thank you, Grace. Last year, I had my first via ferrata ever in my life. I broke down, and look at me. It's like, it's just amazing to see what the human body and what you can do mentally when you just put your mind to something, learning what you need to do to get to your goal, and then after that you just keep growing and growing and growing. It's just incredible. I wonder how long it took me. 40 minutes. I wonder where my Slovakian friend went. He left like 20 minutes before me. Woohoo! Amazing! From Slovakia! Woohoo!
Slovakia, viva!
Already back at Skala. I wanted to share this because I watched so many YouTube videos to find out what it's like going back down. Because if you're someone like me where going up is a lot easier for you and coming down maybe scares you a little bit, or it's not as good as your up game, I guess, it's actually much easier coming down. I would say as well, if you've got visibility is poor here, you just have to follow the red and yellow markers. You can see one like every 5 meters, maybe 10 meters. You just stick to that and you'll be fine. You do definitely need a helmet. You definitely need some gloves. It's a lot easier. And you need good sturdy shoes. If you are a beginner when it comes to hiking, I would definitely recommend getting a guide. If you have experience with rock climbing, bouldering, via ferratas, scramble hikes, like if you've done a few of those before, you'll be able to do this. I just want to share that because I couldn't find anywhere that wasn't being overly dramatic. It's always hard to judge, right? Because you don't know what other people's experiences are, but I mean, you can see my experience. You can see what I've done in the last year and a half. Like obviously before that I did other stuff as well, but so I hope that gives you an idea if you want to come do it yourself. And hopefully you get a better view than me. I don't know if it's because I got a bit of confidence from that climb, but or the coffee, but I'm flying down the mountain. I don't think I've gone down a mountain this fast with this kind of rock. Let's say confidence goes a long way. Don't underestimate yourselves. Try.